And then in the morning when it was getting like, was it like 4:30 like that, he would take half an hour's rest. And then he would get up again, and then he would chant japa, just like we have a japa mala. So we would chant for 2.5 hours, he was chanting japa, meditation. And then, how was it? There was correspondence, letters, answering letters.
He took a bath also.
And he took a bath, and he took a quick meal, some fruits, some chapatis.
2 chapatis.
2 chapatis.
And half a liter milk.
Half a liter milk and some fruit. That was his breakfast. And then after that, then he would attend to his government duty. He would be active from 10 till 5 in the afternoon, with a break in between. He had a break in between. And then come home, and then he would what was it, just translating scriptures for a couple of hours, and go to bed, and then get out again, and that was routine. And then he was taking care of his family, and he said it was not neglectful. He had 14 children. He took really nice care of his whole family and his wife and so on. So he was, and actually our whole Krishna consciousness movement was revived by him, and he spread it all over Bengal. And actually what we are doing is actually what he started. He wanted this Krishna conscious philosophy spread all over the world, and he started that. And the successors of Bhakti Thakur and finally Srila Prabhupada, they continued and spread it all over the world. But he was the one who initiated that. And so he was an amazing person, and he was living in the middle of the world, dealing with all, and even modern amenities he was using. I just visited his house 2 months ago. I was there, and I mean, whenever we go to Sridham Mayapur, it's just close there, and then we go and visit that. So one of the items in the house where he lived is a fan run by petroleum. That was one of the inventions in the British that brought with them in the 1800s. Fans were new before you had servants fanning you, but now they had actually a fan like this. And it was run by petroleum, not by electricity. And he had one of those. And he was using all this. He was not, in that sense, you might say he's not detached, but he was very detached, because he was simply seeing that all my family, my wife, my children, my possessions, these all belong to Krishna. These children, they're not my children, they're Krishna's children, and I'm simply the caretaker. Krishna has arranged that I'm here, I'm a caretaker of this family, and it's my duty to take proper care of Krishna's family. And in this consciousness, he was raising his family and being involved with everyone. And that's what Rupa Goswami says, this is real renunciation, this is real detachment. For your own sake, you're not attached to anything. But for your service to Krishna, you'll utilize anything that is favorable for Krishna's service. Like Arjuna will use weapons because it's a battlefield and his service is to fight for Krishna. Or if one is a family man, well, you utilize what is necessary to maintain a family. Generally, family means, well, you have to have a job. Family means, you have to provide, money is needed, or you have to have a field and grow grains and have cows or something. But some kind of economic development is needed. So whatever it takes, that's what one does, and one trains one's children nicely, even better than if it was one's own, because actually they're Krishna's children, and I have to be really responsible with Krishna's children. And so this whole, this is actually all that Krishna is talking about. The meditation where one sees everything as belonging to Krishna. It's all Krishna's energy, Krishna's property. And I'm Krishna's servant, and whatever is favorable I use in Krishna's service. But I'm not attached. Nowadays we have all these modern gadgets. And everyone, they have their smartphones, mobile phones, and I have one too. And people, they're addicted to them. Nowadays we are, modern man is addicted to this. It's a new drug. isn't it? You know, it's there are games, and you have your social media where you are, you know, seeing you have so many friends. You know, that's where the social life is, and so on. It becomes an addictive thing, like a drug. But one who's really detached in the right way will also utilize it. You know, we are utilizing these. We hope we can be detached from them. But they're favorable. They are tools for communication, for doing many things in Krishna's service. But one day, when they're not there or like that, then also we have to show we don't care. We can live without. But we use them now, and then when maybe one day, you know, whole society might break down like that. Who knows what's going to happen? And the only thing we'll be left will be a cow and a little plot of land, and then we'll be happy. Or maybe even that. We'll be happy anyway. It's we're happy to serve. That's a devotee. We're happy simply to serve Krishna in any circumstance. And actually, the more difficult the circumstance is, the more happier the devotee is, because that actually means there's greater chance for making Krishna happy in an adverse situation. So that is the devotee's happiness. And that happiness no one can take away from one, because one can please Krishna in any situation. So, and that's actually the basis of the detachment from the devotee. That's why he's not really attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence. Why? Because he has something that is so much better. He is so much better. He's not, you know, artificially trying to push away wealth or enjoyment, but actually within he's very attached, but he's just, you know, because it's morally wrong, something like that. Then you say, no, I cannot, I will not. It's forbidden. Real devotee is not like that. He is happy in giving Krishna happiness, serving Krishna in any situation. So therefore, whether there is material opulence or sense enjoyment or comfort or not, these come and go, and it doesn't bother him at all. And that's how one can be really detached. When one has something so much better, what does matter with all this temporary, flickering comforts, sense enjoyment, material wealth? They come and go. And what does it mean? I mean, that's actually how a real transcendentalist devotee he sees. And that's what is being offered here in the Bhagavad Gita. A kind of a secret of living, an art of living. There's someone who's called the art of living. And this is a real art. How to learn to satisfy Krishna in all circumstances. Prabhu says this is the secret of how to turn on that one switch which will brighten everything. That is actually the formula. You know, there's so many problems probably in each of us. You know, we have in our own lives and like that, and in the world. And it might seem everything is dark and confused, but there's one switch. Just like if we are in a room, it's pitch dark. But if you can just find the switch to turn on the light, the darkness is gone. And Prabhu says this is the one switch that turns on the light in the darkness. Learn how to satisfy Krishna, and and not be attached to, give up all attachment to whatever material there is, and simply be attached to serving Krishna in all circumstances. And this has been made. Krishna's instruction there, they're very practical. Lord Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya later on, 500 years ago, and he introduced this process which has been practiced in this modern Krishna consciousness movement, working for Krishna in whatever capacity one can, and then getting together with devotees, all of us like we do today, singing, dancing, discussing topics of Krishna, taking prasad, food offered to Krishna together. In this way, become perfect. this is it's simple, it's practical, it's very, very blissful also. So yeah, so that this is what we have been offered in this modern age. The pledge of Srila Prabhupada here is simply please take advantage of it. It doesn't cost anything. There's no loss, but there's immense gain. And just accept it and give it to others also. Invite others to take part of it in that also. Hi Krishna. There might be 2 minutes for a question. Otherwise, at 6 o'clock, a couple of us will be in the office in the other building. If you have more questions or want to talk more, any questions here?
You talked about this detachment, and in this connection, I was thinking sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's difficult. Like, for example, our situation always changes. Maybe some dear relative has passed away, or and then you get more detached, or maybe on your job you get a promotion, and then you become certainly more attached, or like you want to take advantage of the situation. So how can one in both like this great happiness or great distress?
But one has to learn to become transcendental to, ups and downs. And it's a transcendentalist is not elated when there's happiness, and is not depressed when there is unhappiness or adverse conditions. Because he sees it all, when these come and go. Prabhupada writes in one place, one can never be completely happy in this world, and you cannot be completely unhappy either. They come and they go. And one always has to maintain this transcendental perspective on this material world that is temporary. I am eternal, things are temporary here. They come and go, like summer seasons and winter seasons. So one may get, promotion in job and like that. But someone who's transcendental will understand, okay, so I'll try to serve Krishna in this position. But it's temporary in any case. I had a particular, well-paid position or powerful position like that for some time, and that will be gone. And now I'm in a miserable situation, and that will also be gone. It's one has to always have this perspective. Things, they come and go. No situation is permanent in this world, and because it is a constant thing, one has to. We tend to be very attached to the present situation, but by proper studies and being in touch with scriptures and spiritual, sadhus, and also I'd say simply as time goes on, one becomes more detached if one is practicing spiritual life, because one sees, it's temporary. And actually one has experienced, yes, it is temporary. We're in 2015. That means it's 30 years ago. That's since it was 85. And at that time we thought, this is, we're living in such an important age, 85, and it just, and things have changed. And once you observe time, actually that's one instruction. There are those who are condemning death and destruction, and there are those who are praising life. It's that's the Louis Armstrong song, isn't it? What a wonderful world! He's praising the world, the life like that. And there are those who are then talking about how horrible the world is. And both are not proper perspectives. Proper perspectives observe time. Just follow how time is going all the time. Yes. Thank you very much. We'll have Kirtan now for 20 minutes. Everyone is requested to please stand up and sing and dance with us. And you need that to stretch your legs anyway. Hare Krishna.